Okay, here we are. Phylum Cnidaria. Ah! The terrors of the deep. I know, they don't look really scary, do they? But when we are, because you're like, oh. Okay, so some of the specimens that we have here in lab are dried. So corals, this black stick thing is a coral too. These are all Anthozoa. Okay, Phylum Cnidaria, class Anthozoa. And how do we know this? This is Anthozoa. Well, again, this is just the skeleton. So what are we missing? Well, we're missing all the polyps that would be living in each one of these little spots here. And I can tell, let's zoom in and let's focus. You see those little tiny septa? Those little tiny walls? Oh, you can. Focus, Clark, focus. There they are. Look at that. So amazing. You often have to look very close at coral in order to really see it. Now, sometimes you can't see them at all. Other times, they're staring at you right in the face. Look at all those septa. Polyps lived on here. This used to be alive. It's not anymore. Stony coral. This guy is a soft coral. How did this live? Oh, some things are complex. When we think of, oh, here's another coral. Can I see the septa? A little harder. It's been a little worn by human hands and perhaps in the ocean as well. But this is coral as well. When we think of Cnidaria, though, we have a tendency, so that's class Anthozoa. What we're looking at here is class Hydrozoa and class Scyphozoa. Hydrozoa has both polyp and medusa. Anthozoa, my coral, has only the polyp body form. They're a weird phylum. Polyp are the things that look like a sea anemone. Okay, so it can be large, like a sea anemone, or very, very small. Now, I have a couple of samples of Hydrozoa right here. In that I have Obelia. You're like, what? I know, it's the lab of snot. It is. Okay, I'm going to zoom up on here. These are the colonies that we are going to look at underneath the microscope. And we can see the feeding polyp and the reproductive polyp. And we can find on a slide the medusa. Here is an example. And I just wanted to show this to you because look how small he is. Okay, so that is a jellyfish. Let's zoom him up for you. Focus, please. Look at that little guy. That's Gonionemius. And he is in Hydrozoa as well. Okay, and that has to do with the vellum that's found on the, well, I know. You'll have to read the lab, but that's Hydrozoan. So some jellyfish are very small. Now, when we say jellyfish, we're always thinking of things that can sting us, right? Okay, first off, he's not alive. It doesn't matter. Jellyfish can sting you even when they're dead because they have those nematocysts and they are triggered, right? And so this guy, I'm going to zoom in, leaving him there. This is called a moon jelly, and indeed it has nematocysts on it. Scientific name is Aurelia. That's the genus name. This is class Scyphozoa. We have moon jellies in the San Diego Bay. Usually in the summertime is when you start seeing them, the warmer water. And these guys get as big as dinner plates. They get huge. And so jellyfish, Aurelia, moon jellies, have nematocysts, but my skin is too tough, and so it doesn't hurt me. It's the same as when you can touch sea anemones down in the tide pools, and they feel sticky, but they don't sting you. It's because you're too tough, okay? But a little fish is not. All right, so Aurelia, so it's important to know what can sting you and what can't, right? At least in my world, I want to know that. So Aurelia, you can play with. This is a preserved specimen. And if I take him out of his little dish, right, you're like, oh, He's just like snot. Blah. Okay, put him back in the water, let him float out a little bit, and we can see structures. And he's not going to sting me, so I can kind of play with him a little bit. Okay, he's preserved. He's been preserved in alcohol, so he's not alive anymore. But I can see on there, you see him? Each one of those are the gonads. And then if I flip them over, blah, then I have these feeding tentacles. See them? Yay. So you have to know the life cycle of Aurelia. Okay, this is the adult form. So you got the top view, you got the bottom view, and you're going to have to look at a microscope slide to be able to tell all the parts of the Aurelia life cycle. Scyphozoa are what we think of when we are doing jellyfish, right? Because they have just the Medusa body form. Okay, I'm going to jump us back to Hydrozoa because we do have a wonderful specimen. No, I'm not going to take him out. That is a Portuguese man-o-war, and we've had him forever. Okay, so this has been in the lab, no joke, 50 years. But he's so cool, I can't really quite turn him. This is a colony that's living in here. And do the nematocysts still fire? I don't know. I'm not willing to find out because I don't want to get stung. Remember, I swim in the ocean all the time, and these are the things that I fear. The things that sting me and hurt me. And I don't have any of those here on the table for you, because I'm no fool. All right, so I want you to have fun in Cnidaria, and I will do a tour of the Hydra model.